Hello, everybody. I'm Bryan Wallerson, founder of Intuitive IT, a managed cybersecurity company. We lead our clients through success through automation and IT efficiency. IT efficiency equals to increased productivity, and guess what? Helps you as a client save money. So today we're going to be talking with a bunch of entrepreneurs and other business owners about their response to COVID, things that have kind of hindered their progression and things they've done while pivoting to a better successful platform. So as entrepreneurs, we all should be pivoting. We all should be moving in a direction that helps us maintain and helps us succeed. So my message as an IT business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a mentor, as someone who helps with business development for all of our clients is being able to talk about automation. What processes are we putting in place today to help your organization move towards automation and succeed? Without automation, you will be left behind. As you can see, a lot of businesses were not set up for COVID. A lot of businesses were not set up ready to work remotely. And what does that mean? That means there was a lot of violations. There was a lot of lost steps. There was a lot of missteps. People were getting paid for work they didn't do. There's a lot of mistakes that were made because some organizations did not have productivity software in place. Some organizations did not have the infrastructure to be remote. What does that mean? Did you have a way to hire, terminate, maybe appraise employees remotely? Did you have time clock software that was cloud enabled already? Did you have productivity software that was already linked or intertwined with everything else your organization was already doing? And if you had that stuff, did you have the policies and the procedures in place to implement that? So we talk about crisis planning and we talk about, how would you say, productivity management. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Willie Mae Veasy, co-founder of Covenant Business Concepts. And she's going to discuss some of the things her business is doing, a message that she has to other entrepreneurs, and what her take is on automation and her take is on what businesses should have in place and what they should be doing right now. So I appreciate you taking the time and joining me. I just kind of wanted to talk to you about a few things that are kind of troubling most small business owners today. And I wanted to see how you're handling it as a business owner and an entrepreneur yourself, and maybe some advice you can give to other entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs right now.
Sure.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself, just so the audience knows, and your business?
Okay, so as you mentioned, I'm Willie Mae Veasy. I'm the president of Covenant Business Concepts, and we specialize in the creation of business accelerators, centers of excellence. We do leadership training, management training, things like that. But our specialty really kind of lies in creating a curriculum or an entire comprehensive process to help small business owners grow their business.
Well, thank you. That's well said, really quick. I appreciate that. And just for those who don't know, Ms. Veasy here is also our business coach for our Columbia, exactly, our Columbia student group at Columbia Business School. We are part of the CCBP Entrepreneurs. And I want to say thank you for taking your time to be here, and thank you for everything that you've done for me as a business owner and other business owners that you've also helped inspire.
You're very welcome. It is a labor of love, and especially more pleasant when I have an opportunity to work with you and your peers in the cohort. This has been a really great 2 years together that you've been in the program. And, my special treat with helping to lead that particular cohort is seeing you all collaborate and support and encourage one another. And I think that that's the special thing and why I call you guys the superstar entrepreneurs.
Now, and in going with that, speaking about that now, so you as a business owner and dealing with us as entrepreneurs and people that you're training and also your clients, how do you feel that COVID has affected, one, your business and your interactions with your students and your clients?
Yes, Brian, it hasn't really affected me too much. It's really worked to my benefit because I've been trying to encourage my clients to do more online training and online interaction. And so the resistance that I used to receive from my clients and my customers around that now has subsided because everybody's on Zoom or they're doing WebEx or they're doing something else. So for me, it's a big benefit. I'm using some of my programs did get canceled that were more physical in nature and you really needed to be there in person to do. So I did have one or two of my programs get canceled, but we're looking at other options and coming up with other solutions that we can do things online. You know, you see a lot of people that's doing virtual graduations and virtual proms. And so people are just getting very comfortable with the connectivity that they have available through tools like Zoom that we're on right now.
That's actually well said, because a lot of businesses were not set up for this. A lot of businesses were actually really adverse to doing things online. And also, you know, as an IT business owner myself, we preach to our clients about moving things to the cloud and trying to do a lot more stuff virtual and automating a lot of processes. And we've noticed that some businesses were not set up and ready for that. And I'm happy to hear that you're not really affected as much by that. And a lot of clients are actually going in the direction that you want them to go. Now,
Yeah, a lot of my clients are seizing this opportunity as well to provide private training for their staff because their staff is down. So I've had some of my old Columbia business students reach out to me to ask me, oh, can you run this program for me? I just did a knock your socks off customer service program for one of the graduates of Columbia CBP program. And that was primarily because he said, you know, my business is still going well. We're virtually virtual anyway. So he wanted to use the downtime to train his people.
that's a great concept, because I was actually speaking to another entrepreneur about this earlier. Somebody who had received the PPP and now they have all this money from the Paycheck Protection Program, but their business is still not able to open up yet. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, what do I do with my employees? And I told him, I was like, this is a great time to do training. This is a great
Yes.
time to, if you need to spend the money and pay them while they're on payroll, this is a great time to have paid training. And
Yeah,
being
they
able
should
to
be
have,
looking at their process. They should be fixing what's broken.
exactly.
Never before will you get this level of downtime where you can concentrate on what's not working well in your organization and look at automating things. And so I wanted to ask you, Brian, because you are in IT, how does your company help its clients automate its process?
And I'm happy you brought that up, because right now, how we're helping our clients automate is by introducing them to a lot more cloud related services. So we're teaching them about how to be able to hold interviews via the cloud, being able to how to have meetings via the cloud. We are helping them with automating their actual HR process, their payroll process, by transitioning to non-traditional payroll providers. Going
And
to
I'm telling you, Brian, if your clients aren't heeding your advice, because it's expert advice, when they come out of this, if their systems are not automated, I'm telling you, the larger companies, that's exactly what they're doing. They're looking at what's broken and they're fixing it. They're automating everything that they can to make it virtual. And if you come out of this COVID and you're still behind with doing things manually and everything is paper-based, you are going to get left behind.
Exactly. And that's the message that we're preaching to our clients as well, is understanding that, hey, the way you were doing business is not going to be the way you should be doing business moving forward. And you should be looking at a way to do more with less and to be able to do it faster. And understanding that you do not need the same amount of people you needed before to get the job done. And understanding that it's going to be a lot cheaper for you to automate this. It's a lot cheaper for you to have processes in place that allows you to be prepared for the next epidemic, the next crisis, the next anything that's going to move forward. Hiring without actually having to see a person is it's what needs to happen. You need to be able to have a process in place that allows you to actually sign documents without actually having somebody in the office. Be able to send your employee manual, be able to send your policies, your company's procedures via email automatically without actually having anybody having to come to your office. And these are the procedures that our clients need to have in place right now. And that moves me to the next topic, is about pivoting and understanding how to pivot in a crisis. And one of the biggest things, one of the biggest lessons that I know that I've learned from you as an entrepreneur is how to seize an opportunity, regardless of if it's a negative opportunity or a positive situation, always trying to spin the positive out of it. And the reason why I say that is because right now, as entrepreneurs and other business owners, we went into COVID with a negative mindset. Oh my God, I don't know where the money's coming from. I don't know where it is. And then the biggest thing is understanding how to revamp your business. And that's how I look at it. This is the biggest opportunity right now. And that's why we're pushing to all our clients is the automation feature.
Yes.
Yes,
And so, like, when you're talking about pivoting, it's really understanding, number one, the nature of business. And like you said, you're seizing the opportunity. So what we've seen some people do is pivot so that, well, while they once made uniforms, now they're making these masks, right? Because that's what's in demand. So now they're making these protective masks for everybody, and they've stopped making the uniforms, you know. You see people who have restaurants, right? And it was an eat-in restaurant. And so those got closed down, but they're doing delivery. And so you pivot and ask yourself, in terms of what I'm providing, how can I provide it in a safer way, in a way that honors the standards that we now have in place for COVID, but still meet the needs of my customers. And so the thing that I want to say is that coming into COVID, the businesses that had the biggest problems were the ones that were not financed appropriately. And you know, from being in the class, we talk about the 8 drivers of growth, right?
Yes.
And one of the 8th drivers is financial management and profitability. And so the standard for that is making sure that you have at a minimum at least 6 months of working capital. And I'm sure when you first came into the class and we were talking about the profitability index being at 35%, it's a lot. It's a lot to try to figure out, how am I going to amass that much money, right? 6 months of working capital, and then also make sure that my business is functioning at a 35% profit, matrix, right? It's a huge ask, but think about it. The people, the students that were in the class that marched to that beat, that made that goal, and took that goal seriously, coming into COVID, they don't have a financial problem because now they've got the 6 months capital in place to make sure that they're able to maintain it. Even as they make adjustments to cut costs, that 6 months capital will go much further than 6 months. Exactly. And so like business standards like that people hear and they take with a grain of salt. But when something like COVID hit, now it's like, oh, wow, that's why I should have had that 6 months of working capital.
Yes, and it's going to be an educational goal for everybody right now, and understanding that, hey, this is the mistake that I made. And having, I would say, inspirational leaders like yourself preaching that is very important. And understanding that, hey, that 6 month working capital is for situations like this. And a lot of business owners, we were not set up for this. We were not thinking about this. A lot of us were thinking about—
None of us ever experienced anything like this before.
And exactly. None of us experienced anything like this, but we will be set up for that in the future. And this is where we go into, what is your crisis response plan? What is your plan for understanding when things hit the fan? What are you going to do? What is your team going to do? Who are you going to have in place? Who you call? What things do you turn off? What things do you keep on? And understanding, how does your business continue to charge your clients? How do you continue to engage with your clients? Because one of the biggest things about pivoting is that I wanted to make sure that we definitely hit on is, when you pivot and make these changes to your business, you don't want to neglect your current clients either.
Exactly.
A lot of people who are stopping their business norm and going after who's actually able to pay them now, but they're still not thinking about engaging with the people who used to pay them and who could possibly still pay them when they come out of COVID. So,
sure.
Kind of looking at pivoting with your clients, what advice would you have for entrepreneurs who are looking to make changes in their business and they're not sure if their clients are going to be around?
Yeah. And so the first thing I would say is just be careful of assumptions, because we get caught when something like this hits. The fear and anxiety takes a root, and sometimes we're not able to truly think clearly. And so what we want to do is make sure that we don't give way to the fear and make assumptions about what our customers need. And so sometimes it's just as simple as having a conversation with them saying, hey, I know we can't do business like we normally do, but what would be great for you, right, that I can provide you that would be helpful? You know, what do you still need from me? And then how might we make that available to you in a more convenient and safe way? And sometimes I think it always starts with asking the customers. My customers, the reason my business run the way my business does is because it's in response to the needs and expectations of my customers.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And it's about that dialogue you have with your customers, that dialogue you're going to have with your client, and that opening and understanding is that you're not trying to sell them what you want to sell them. You're giving them what they need. You're giving them what is going to help them reach their goals and their success. And that's what's going to make you a successful business owner and actually get you through this crisis.
And I think that that's the perk and the benefit of a small business. If anybody can pivot, large organizations, they can't pivot, but us, smaller entrepreneurs who really have a focus on the pulse, on what the customer wants and expects, we have the ability to pivot and meet that need. So Bryan, how have you pivoted in your organization?
So in my organization, I would say that we have pivoted by understanding work first, taking a step back and understanding exactly what we talked about a couple minutes ago, was looking at the cracks and the issues that we might have already been having within the organization itself, and the things that we may have been wanting to identify or address or promote towards our clients. This is how we first pivoted, is by actually fixing some of the cracks and the issues and the wounds that we were having. Then second is actually by understanding that, hey, this is the direction where everybody is going. How do we continue to engage with our audience through education? That's one direction that we're going right now, is moving towards that engagement via education and bringing people in and understanding how to respond and set themselves up for crisis planning and crisis management.
And that's exactly it. Yeah, that's great.
And that's our pivot right now. It's in this kind of like, I know me and you've had many conversations about this and how the direction of our company is going to go. And I've had conversations with other entrepreneurs within our cohort and understanding the direction the business should be going. And this COVID is the biggest opportunity for my organization because it allows us to, one, identify everything that we want to do. Two, I have the time, the clarity, and the mindset to be able to put it into action. And that's why I'm not panicking. I'm actually taking a step back and actually realizing that this is a better opportunity. And it gives me a lot more downtime to actually communicate more with other business owners, because we're not out. We're actually available to be able to have those conversations. The 15 minutes, that 20 minutes you wanted to be able to have with that person that you should be able to make a phone call to and reach out to, you can do that now, which is a great time to be able to have that non-sales but sales call. And by that, what I'm saying is, you're not really calling somebody to sell them something. You're calling to be engaging, to understanding what they may need and understanding that, hey, you're there for them if they need you. And you can always be there for that person. And people are going to remember that you were engaging with them. People are going to remember that you tried to reach out to them. So we're pivoting it in a way towards making sure that all our clients are going towards automation and ensuring that we're able to reach out in non-traditional ways in all different ways. So one last question for you would be, do you feel that you had all the technology in place prior to COVID that you think you needed to survive?
Well, the benefit for us in our organization is that my partner, he's an IT person like you. So my answer would be yes. He makes that we have the right technology. I didn't have to run out and buy cameras. I actually had a friend call me and say, tell me what cameras you have, because I prefer to use Logitech Orbit cameras that has the ball, at the top, and give a better screen. So it's not, a lot of the laptop cameras have awkward setup, and they shoot you at a disadvantage, not at an advantage. So I had all the technology, hardware, software in place to be able to hit the ground running once COVID hit. So there was no real scrambling for us. Now, I will say, going forward, we did become aware of some things that should run better and faster in terms of different apps and technology that we use. So we may upgrade certain things, but it's not a lot of scrambling for us because we've always run lean, mean, and consistent.
Okay, and that's great. And then do you have a message that you want to leave with current business owners and maybe aspiring entrepreneurs?
I just want to encourage you not to get distracted, because COVID will be over at some point, and you need to get your house in order in terms of your business, not your physical house, although that would be great too. But you need to make sure that if you're trying to grow your business, stabilize your business, maintain your business, that you have a financial management and profitability strategy in place, that you have a sales and marketing strategy in place where people know you, know what you offer, understand what you stand for as a leader. You know, you have to have your infrastructure, the process by which you provide the services to the businesses sound, succinct, and that there needs to be no gaps. So within your organization is only as good, right? The service chain in your organization is only as good as its weakest link. And if you don't know where the weak link exists in your organization, then you're in for a rude awakening. And I'm sure you probably have discovered it on some level right now.
Yes.
And also have a risk management plan in place. So, you know, we have 8 drivers. I didn't go through all of the 8 drivers, but I did hit the top 4 that if you don't have in place, you will come to ruin. And those are the things that make sure that you get on the track and you stay on the track. So hopefully that was helpful, Bryan. If I left out anything, I'm sure you can remind everybody.
I definitely will. Willie Mae, it's been an honor, and I appreciate your time, and I definitely hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Bryan. It's a wonderful to speak with you, and all the best to your listening audience.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care. We just want to thank Willie Mae for joining us and talking about the different changes that she's been making within her organization and the advice that she has for other entrepreneurs. She did touch on quite a few things. And one of the things she touched on was strategic growth drivers and understanding that there's 8 of them. And with the 8 of them dealing with organizational excellence, sales and marketing, financial management, digital technology, customer loyalty, risk management, diversity and innovation, and strategic alliances and partnerships. Which one of those 8 are you currently working on as an entrepreneur and a business owner? Now, as an IT managed service provider, as a company who advises our clients to work on the automation, to continue to grow their business and to pivot during this crisis, we want to kind of focus on financial management. We want to kind of focus on the digital technology and analytics. So how do we go about that? How do we focus on that? So with us, with the automation that we're pitching to our clients, that we're helping our clients see the light through productivity, see the light through understanding that, hey, using automation software like Microsoft Teams, Office 365, cloud-based software, you are setting your organization up for success with the ability to work quicker and leaner within your office. And if something happens and you have to be remote, you have remote access to your documents, you have remote access to your resources, and it's secure. And with that, you also get the advantages of productivity software like Microsoft Planner and a few others. So how does this help you as a leader? How does this help you in the organization? As we mentioned with Willie Mae online, we also help our clients with HR software, payroll software, everything being one. I believe that an organization should be able to hire and be able to transition throughout the entire lifespan of the process an employee without having to leave one system. I like to be able to go into a payroll program or a HR platform that also creates your employee accounts for you, that also onboards the employees, also allows them to do digital signatures. The goal is to be able to automate your organization, be able to continue to allow your organization to grow and flourish and do more with less. One of the biggest things that I hear from clients is the cost factor, which is why Intuitive IT helps and consults with our clients by analyzing what their business has going on, looking at the different metrics that they have in place, and advising them on the best way to move forward. So let's focus on the growth drivers that we have here. How are you analyzing the data that's already within your organization? And the data I'm talking about is, how much time does your employee waste? There are some organizations out there that has work that can get done in 3 hours that takes a full day. Why? Mismanaged IT, non-automated processes, having to manually do certain things that could just be digitally automated for them. We hope business owners understand that this is a great opportunity now to develop your business, to invest this time and energy into growing your business. And growing your business doesn't always mean that you have to go hire new people or you have to go do this. Growing your business means developing it, nurturing it, understanding, looking at the cracks, looking at the different issues you may have within your business and being able to make those changes. Intuitive IT is an organization that also believes that every individual, every business owner, every entrepreneur should have a platform in place to show the professionalism of their business, that helps automate their business and helps make their business look more professional.